Good evening and welcome. Tonight we'll be going over the history and geography of Cabo Delgado in Mozambique. We are up in northern Mozambique. Mozambique's a very long country, and most of the population and the capital city is way down in the south near the border with South Africa. So this is kind of an obscure corner of Mozambique. You can see it borders Tanzania up here and has a long Pacific Indian Ocean coastline. Kitten, you can't be playing with wires. Okay. One. Boy, baby girl. Sorry for all the noise. My kitten is back. She wants to be a menace, as usual. You might hear little kitten noises in the background now. But yes, Indian Ocean coastline, where you can kind of see this chain of islands here along the coast. These are the Quirimbas archipelago, the Quirimbas Islands, which are on the tentative UNESCO list. I feel like, there's my kitten, I feel like they should add it sooner than later. You'll find out why in a minute. I feel like it needs to be protected. But it's a beautiful national park here in Mozambique. And you can see the capital here is Pemba, which is considered like the jumping off point, the port of entry to the Quirimbas Islands up here. The rest of the area, though, is pretty sparsely populated. There's not much going on out here, and most of the history of Cabo Delgado will pertain to the coast here. Just because this is just wide open, empty land. But, kitten, thank you. But we will talk about the town of Montepuez right here. Toward the end of the history, this town will be important. Don't forget it. She's going to sit right there. She's going to sit right on Zimbabwe. Okay. Okay, don't lick your butt on camera. Disgusting. Very inappropriate. All right, you can't sit on my notes either. I need to make sure I get these names correct. Okay, sorry, baby. She just wants to sit near me. My kitty. All right. Let's talk about the history here, though. The names I need to make sure I get are the various indigenous groups that lived or claimed. Hi, baby. Lived or claimed this area. Hi, kitty. You're very cute. This is Bonnie, by the way, if you don't know. She's baby. I guess this will lighten the mood for what's to come. I should warn you that there is some very sad history upcoming. So be prepared for that. Let's look at this kitten instead as she bites my fingers. Goodness, baby. This area was mainly part of the Makonde territory, the Makonde peoples. They didn't necessarily settle in most of it. Like I said, it's mostly underpopulated. The main population was along the coast here, and that was the Muane peoples. The Muane peoples. There she goes. Bye, kitty. Very important that they are historically Islamic. Culturally, this is kind of the area where the East African coastal Muslims meet the South African Christians, right? Very important. We have, Zanzibar's just up there. That used to be part of Oman. Very Muslim area along the coast here. But there was no, significant towns or cities or anything in Cabo Delgado for quite a while. There was some fishing and trading between the Somalis and the Malagasy in Madagascar. Kitten's back, you guys. but no like huge urban center, no big trading post. There really wouldn't be a big trading post until oh gosh, I didn't write down the year. I guess it was, I thought I did, but I wrote down 1929. Is that true? That can't be true. No, it was like 18 something. It was in the, she's still licking her booty on camera. Disgusting. Don't, censoring kitty butt. It was definitely the 1800s, like the late, like 1880s, 1890s, when the Portuguese began to settle along the coast here and establish some trade, because it was 1929 that this area officially became part of Portugal as a colony within Mozambique. The Mozambique War of Independence actually began in Cabo Delgado. I don't think the town is on here. Gosh, it's somewhere around here. But insurgents came from Tanzania into Cabo Delgado to attack Portuguese settlements, and that sparked the Independence War, which was fought for just over a decade until there was a coup in Portugal that removed the dictatorship there. I said this yesterday, but it's very important. One of the first things that the new Portuguese democratic government did was let go of all their colonies. So the war was over. I remember reading before how much animosity there was in Mozambique, that these people fought so hard for so long and didn't really get a victory. You know, they were just kind of let go. They didn't win their independence. It just kind of happened, which is still a good thing, but it wasn't quite the outcome they had wanted, was it? I think if I recall, that brought some, resentment to the people here in Mozambique. There is, of course, a lot of political strife between political parties in Mozambique, but that was mostly down in the south at this point, post-independence. This Cabo Delgado region was really thriving up until the 2010s. In 2011, there was a lot of offshore gas deposits discovered that began to be exploited. Also, I told you about Monte Puez. This town right here is the world's largest producer. You can't even see it anymore because they couldn't. The world's largest producer of rubies. 40% of the world's rubies come from this town in Angola, in Monte Puez. So it's going fairly well, I suppose. It's just that a lot of the prosperity that was coming out of Cabo Delgado was not coming back into Cabo Delgado. Still a very poor area that was really only benefiting people in the south of Mozambique. Which again, don't forget, this is not a predominantly Muslim population, but definitely more Muslim than in southern Mozambique, where it's very predominantly Christian. Kitten went back to stand on my notes. I need to get this date right. On October 5th, 2017, this town right here that I hope I don't mispronounce because it's in Portuguese, Mocimboa de Praia, was attacked. And oh my gosh, I wish you could see this. She's looking at this sound wave recording on my PC as I talk, and she's trying to attack it. My silly girl. Anyway, very serious topic now. I could use a kitten. Nope, okay. I have a tail, but no other kitten. October 5th, 2017, Mocimboa de Praia was attacked by a group of extreme Islamists who identified with a group that I can't say on YouTube without getting demonetized, but starts with IS for Islamic State. Peoples who wanted extreme Islamic ideals integrated into daily life here, whether the people wanted it or not, and to retain more, distinction, independence between this part of Mozambique and in the south in Maputo. This triggered a huge war that is still ongoing today. It's also fueled by the original group that starts with IS that began up in Syria and Iraq. Since that war has been falling apart lately, many of those fighters have come down to Mozambique to fight here and try to establish their Islamic State here in Africa. The battles are very much ongoing. It doesn't help that in 2019 and 2024, 2 cyclones hit the coast, devastating many areas here that were already full of refugees from other parts of the province. This town up here, Palma, had a huge battle in 2021 between Mozambique and Rwanda. Rwanda is also helping Mozambique fight these militants, which the government won out. I've read a couple different sources that the main cities around here are liberated, but not necessarily safe to be in. So it's sad because especially Pemba was a big tourist place. Mozambique has a huge tourist industry along the coast, and like I said, especially down in the south. But this used to be one of the big tourist hotspots in Mozambique. Not so anymore. It's highly recommended you don't come here. Many of the beautiful Quirimbas Islands are occupied by, IS militants. And it's very, very sad. Many of the areas in the interior have become refugee centers, which, I wonder if have you heard of this conflict before this video? If you have, let me know, because I feel like I haven't heard of this conflict before I started researching this. Many refugee centers here are very diminished in terms of food and healthcare and education. So I feel like there's many other parts of the world, in Gaza, Sudan, etc., that have more worldwide attention brought to them. This area needs it just as much because there is a huge, huge fight going on here. Many civilians have lost their lives. Over hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced, especially along the coast here. And it's a very sad situation that hopefully someday will be resolved peacefully, and beautiful coastal life can return here. And, just peace. That's all we want on this channel is relaxation, education, and peace. Hopefully, eventually that will happen. But that is the history of Cabo Delgado. Alright, kitty, I know you're getting cozy, but I'm gonna have to move you because it's time to get the tablet out. It's time to get the tablet out. I heard her brother just walk in, so maybe she can run off and play with him. Because it's time to go get the tablet and see what we can find on Google Earth. There's not much, as you can imagine, but she's getting cozy on the map. I want to show you the islands, and there's some nice slideshows in Pemba that were clearly taken before the conflict. But yeah, just kind of show you around. Not much to see, but what there is still very important. So, kitty, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have to move you, baby. I have to move you, kitty. Yep, I feel your brother at my feet. You should go run around with him. You should go play with your brother. And she said no. I guess we can have a little bit of kitten time. I hope that wasn't as stressful. Yeah, I know. See, he wants to play. He probably wants breakfast. Yeah, because the situation's very dire. And, it's very sad. And, I'm trying not to be disrespectful to the people here that are suffering and dealing with this. Soldiers that are fighting for a good cause, for peace, I'm not trying to diminish it in any way. Just trying to make it so that you can learn while relaxing. Do you hear your brother running around? Go play. Go play. He gets so sad when you fall asleep in the early morning because that's when he wants to play. And then he comes to me to play. And usually I'm asleep at this time. Alright, he's scratching now at the desk. There she goes. Okay, that's your cue to go play with your brother. Let's head to Google Earth and check this area out. Here we are in Cabo Delgado province. The cats are locked out now. You might hear them crying for a minute. That's too bad. Yeah. Oh, my babies. But let's zoom out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here's Mozambique. Like I said, it's a very long country here along the coast. Maputo is down here. There it is, the capital city. Way, way, way far away from Cabo Delgado. You can see Comoros just over there. It's Madagascar. Tanzania up there. Rwanda that I mentioned is up here. So yeah. Let's head in. Let's start off here in Pemba. You can see this big peninsula here. The city right there. It looks like someone's hitchhiking. Pemba. I found some pretty beaches up here. Let's check out this one. So yeah, this is before the war. This is what Cabo Delgado was known for. These beautiful Indian Ocean beaches. So gorgeous. Strong. Get some good drinks, some good food, some rice and fish. Beautiful jagged coastline, little cabanas there. Some tropical drinks. Look how green that drink is. Goodness. Yeah, pretty pool. A little infinity pool. Baobab tree. And dolphins in the water. How special. Yeah, that was Pemba before. I mean, I'm sure the beaches are still there, but you see all these resorts here. Pretty sure that those aren't so much a thing anymore. I think this, no, not that, although that is cool, isn't it? Look at, it's this neat little park, but some cool Mozambican themed murals there. Oh, I'm thinking of the next place I'm going. Never mind. Hold that thought till Monday's video coming up. We're going to yet another Portuguese-speaking African country next. That was where I thought about, we have to show them this museum, but that's in another country. Yeah. There's another pretty beach here. Little cute babies. Gorgeous coast. All rocky, lots of coral. This area was known for diving. They got pretty outfits. You look at that, low tide. Just go out and explore. That's a good photo of this person. He means business. About to dive into the pool there. It's a TikTok. That's someone's TikTok. Cute baby, oh my gosh. Yeah, lots of selfies. That's another good photo. Great pose there. Yeah. It's kind of sad, isn't it? This is not a tourist industry today, from what I understand. But I read Pemba Bay is one of the deepest bays in the world. So it's perfect for diving and snorkeling and all of that. You can see some of the like marshy, swampy lands up here. Along with lots of coral as well. And we head up into the Quirimbas archipelago. You can see all the islands up here. Here's the National Park slideshow. Wow. Oh, how pretty. And pretty resorts. Pretty cabins. Beautiful coral and fishies under the water. I love underwater photography. All the swampy mangrove areas. Pretty sea turtles swimming around. Do some rock climbing up on this island. Yeah, that's what bringing. Oh my gosh, these monkeys. Bringing it back to what I said before, the Quirimbas archipelago is on the UNESCO tentative list. I feel like considering what's been happening recently, it should be added to the list so that it can be protected it'd be listed as a site in danger. But those tomatoes, it can't be. Imagine, they look like tomatoes. But then these islands would be protected by UNESCO. So look at all of them, all along the coast here. It's so sad that many of these islands are dangerous to go to today because they've been overrun. So sad. Hopefully the wildlife there isn't impacted too much by this conflict. But yeah, this is one of the beautiful little corners of Mozambique. And hopefully someday we'll be able to enjoy them again once peace comes. This was the city that was first attacked. It was their like central headquarters for a long time. There's not a lot of great pictures here. It's mostly selfies. But yeah, and then Palma up here. Another large touristy area here along the islands. Look at that big lagoon area right in the middle of the city. Beautiful beaches here as well. Big baobab trees. Yeah. Well, it's a pretty tree there. I feel like that's what most of the town looks like today. All lined up for something they're filming here. Probably a sports themed thing. They look like they're sports teams. Maybe a football tournament. The town with the rubies that I mentioned is down here. Gosh, it's so big. Monte Pues, which there's like nothing to see here as well. But yeah, no pictures. But it's the Uncle Tom Mining Company. So I feel like I found some mining photos at some point. Let me see. Uncle Tom Mining Company has no pictures. So I feel like I was poking around here when I was first researching. Come on. Nope. Maybe I just imagined it. Maybe I just wanted it. Oh, I could have sworn. Oh well. But yeah. Of course, that area being overrun today is very dangerous because the mining industry is still going on. There's lots of mining happening actually in this part of Mozambique. And you can see, oh, look over here. There's some mining over here. Those mines are still being run today. See, MRM mine. And they're raking in the, oh my gosh, that's a terrible selfie. They're still raking in the profits from that. So, never take selfies from below, guys. We don't want to see your chin. You want it to be angled up. We want to see your eyes, not your chins. But anyway, look at this up here, though. I tried to figure out what this was, and nothing the internet told me said anything about it. I gotta go. There's the river. I gotta find it. Up here. See all these lakes? What is this? I tried and tried to Google what in the world. Because the only place that looked this similar, there's some up here in Tanzania too, but not as much. The only place I've seen that looks like this are like former nuclear test sites in like Russia and Kazakhstan. Places where bombs were like nuclear bombs were dropped, but this is clearly not that. You see how squiggly these lakes are. What is going on here? I guess it's just a very marshy area, very lowland area. But it's like it's got little freckles. Right? Look at all of them. What is happening in this area? Because see, here's the big river up here. That's the Rovuma River. It's not near the river. Look how far. I mean, it's kind of along the river, but not really. See, I was trying to figure out what in the world all these lakes are. It's so cool. And of course, there's no pictures up here. But I found nothing. They're so cool. Big old bogs, I guess. I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. Look how cool it is from above. All these little lakeys. So neat. But that's pretty much all that I've got for you. As you can imagine, there's really no, I don't even think these Niassa hunting blocks, that was it. It was the Niassa company. Yeah, no pictures there. Portugal's Niassa company was what first established the trading here in the 1800s. And then it became part of Portugal as a colony. Why didn't I write that down in my notes? It was like filed in the back of my brain. I forgot to write that down. But yeah, that is Cabo Delgado as of today. Again, we hope for peace and prosperity in this corner of Mozambique and Africa and the world. And we want nothing but the best for all the people living here. We hope that someday this area will be thriving and beautiful. And, I don't know, maybe be able to visit someday and see these beautiful islands. But anyway, the sun is rising. The cats are going crazy. You can hear cars outside now driving by. It's time for us to wrap up. So thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. I feel like out of the many Africa videos I've done, this one's very important for it to spread around because the situation needs more eyes on it, I feel. And drop any comments down below. I'd really appreciate that. That would help to boost this video in the algorithm as well. Next, I said we're heading to another Portuguese-speaking African country. It's not Angola, and it's not Mozambique. Can you guess what it is? Let me know if you can figure it out. It has a great name also. I can't wait. Be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. My stomach's about to growl. It's time for breakfast too. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. I really tried to make it relaxing. It's a very devastating situation, you guys. I really hope this was relaxing. And I hope that you have a good